Dear friends, welcome back to my channel Let's Read. From the timeless collection of Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay, let's read a wonderful feeble translation of a satire named The Cat. This is a delightful conversation between Kamalakanta, an opium addict, and a cat. Although outwardly humorous, the conversation is in fact a hard hitting dialogue about the disparities in society. It is a biting satire on life. Let's begin with the story. I was dozing while sitting on the charpoy with the hookah in my hand. The flickering light from the lamp threw moving shadows on the wall which looked like dancing ghosts. Meals had not yet been served, and so, with the hookah in hand, I engaged myself in deep contemplation to pass the time. The question uppermost in my mind was whether I could have won the Battle of Waterloo had I been Napoleon. Just then there was a low sound of meow. I opened my eyes but could not perceive nothing at first. The immediate thought that came to my mind was that Wellington had come to me in the guise of a cat and was begging to be given a share of the opium. I steeled myself and was about to tell him, Duke, you have received ample rewards in the past. There can be no further rewards for you. Unbounded greed is not good. The Duke interrupted by unspoken words and said, Meow. I rubbed my eyes to get a clearer look. It was not Wellington, but a cat. The cat had finished the milk which Prasanna had kept for me. I had been so busy planning a strategy for the battle that I had not noticed the cat's action. The feline beauty, satisfied with the world after consuming the milk, was now announcing its pleasure by sweetly calling out meow. I cannot say whether the meow had a tinge of sarcasm in it, but I felt it was telling me, I have drunk your milk. What do you have to say now? What could I say? The milk did not belong to me. The milk belonged to Mangala. Prasanna had milked her. Thus, if I claimed any right over the milk, then the cat too had an equal right. I could not be angry, but there is an age old custom. If a cat drinks milk, it must be chased away. I could not go against that custom, else I would be a blot on humanity. Besides, if I did not chase her away, it was likely that the cat might ridicule Kamalakanta as a coward among her feline friends. It was therefore imperative for me to act correctly. I put aside the hookah, found myself a broken stick after considerable search, and dashed towards the cat. The cat was acquainted with Kamalakanta. She did not express any alarm at the sight of the stick. She just looked at my face, let out a yawn, and moved aside. Meow, she asked. I could comprehend the meaning of the question and therefore threw away the stick and went back, sat on the charpoy, picking up the hookah. The cat's question, as I comprehended, was, why this show of violence? Why don't you smoke your hookah and reflect with a clear mind? In this world, why should only people enjoy all the good things like milk, fish, and meat? Why should we not get a share of them? You are human beings, and we are cats. Don't we feel hungry and thirsty like you people? We don't object when you eat, but when we eat, people come and chase us away. I have not been able to understand this human behavior even after much contemplation. You would do well to accept some advice from me. Human beings cannot progress unless they receive education from quadrupeds. After visiting your schools and seeing for myself what kind of education is imparted there, I think you too must have realized the truth of my words. Look here, you sleeping man. What is religion? Doing good unto others is the best religion. I am feeling good after drinking this milk. The milk intended for you has done me good. You are therefore the recipient of the fruits of the supreme religion. I may have stolen your milk, but that has only led to an accrual of the good work done by you. Admit, I am a thief, but have I become a thief of my own violation? Does someone become a thief even after having enough to eat? Those who shudder even at the mention of the word thief, many of them are more irreligious than thieves. They don't steal because they do not have any need to steal. But despite having excessive wealth, they do not care for the needs of others. The thief steals from them. It is not the thief's irreverence that leads him into stealing. Rather, the cause is the wealthy miser's apathy. True, the thief commits a crime, but then the wealthy miser is 100 times more to blame. The thief is punished. Why is the miser, who is the root cause of the crime, not punished? I roam about begging for food. No one gives me even a fish bone. People would rather throw away the uneaten food instead of giving that to me. You human beings, you have a full belly. How will you ever understand my pangs of hunger? Is it disgraceful to feel pity for the poor? Someone who has never offended alms to the poor spends sleepless nights if the king is in trouble. Everyone is ready to sympathize with the rich, but none to help the poor. Consider a situation wherein a person in position of power had come and consumed your milk. Would you have picked up a stick and chased him? No, you would have folded your hands in obeisance and urged him to take some money. Why the stick in my case then? You may argue that they are people with wisdom and are honorable people. Does this imply that just because they are honorable and wise, their hunger is worse than mine? That cannot be the case. It is human nature to apply more oil to an already oily head. No one understands the hunger of the poor. You host a feast for someone who refuses to eat and chase away the hungry? You call them thieves and punish them? Fie on you. Look at our state. I roam around in search of food, but no one gives me a morsel. If one of us is fortunate enough to become a house cat, if it is taken in as a companion for the old man or the girl in the house, or if it sits by the side of its rich and stupid owner as the latter plays chess, then its life is made. The cat grows lustrous hair, and other cats turn into poets upon perceiving its beauty. And look at us. Lack of food has caused our hair to shed. The skeleton shows the skin, the teeth are bared, and the tongue hangs out. Mew, mew, we call out, ceaselessly asking for food. Do not be disgusted at the sight of our dark skin. We also have a right to the fish and meat in this world. You give us food, else we will steal it. Don't you feel a pang of pity at our sorry state? The thief is punished, but why isn't there any punishment for cruelty? Your society has made laws to punish the poor for his efforts to gather food. Why then? There is no law to punish the miserly rich. Even you, Kamalakanta, who has developed a foresightedness owing to an addiction of opium, cannot understand that the poor man turns into a thief only because of the rich man's miserliness. Why should a single man gather food that would have satisfied the hunger of 500 poor people? And if he does that, why doesn't he give away the leftovers? The poor then has no alternative but to steal, because no one has been born in this world to die of hunger. I could not tolerate the cat's rant anymore. Stop. Take a pause, Miss Cat. Your words are very socialistic. If people are not allowed to accumulate wealth according to their abilities or enjoy wealth owing to the persecution by thieves, then no one would be interested in creating wealth. The society would suffer as a result. How does that affect me? The cat shot back. A wealthy society implies an increase in the wealth of the rich. The poor will not be affected if the rich stop getting richer. Society cannot progress unless there is the creation of wealth, I tried to explain. But this only angered the cat. Why would I concern myself with the society's progress if I don't have food to eat? It was impossible to explain to the cat. It is impossible to explain to one who is sitting on a judgment. This cat was a fair judge and a good debater, so it had every right not to see things in any other way than its own. I could not be angry with the cat. The poor may not be concerned about society's progress, but the rich are concerned. Therefore, the thief must be punished, I said. Miss Cat said, Hang the thief to death if you want. I have no objection to that. But make a law. The judge deciding the case should remain without food for 3 days before passing any sentence. If, after going without food for 3 days, he does not feel an intense urge to steal and eat, he can, with a clear conscience, sentence the thief to death. You had picked up a stick to hit me. Why don't you go without food for 3 days to experience what it is to be hungry? If, during these 3 days, you are not caught stealing food from Nasiram Babu's house, you may use that stick as much as you want, and I will not object. Experts say that when you find yourself losing in a debate, you must assume a grave expression and give advice to save your face. I took recourse to the expert's suggestion. It is a sin to even indulge in such antisocial talk. You must abandon such thoughts and take to religion. I told the cat, if you want, I can lend you books by Newman and Parker. It will also do you some good if you read my articles compiled in Kamalkanta's files. You will at least understand the creative prowess of opium. Now, you had better go. Prasanna had promised to give me something special with the meals. Come back during mealtime and we will share the food. And yes, do not rob someone else in the meanwhile. If you feel very hungry, you may come back earlier. I will give you some opium to eat. I don't need opium, but your advice against committing burglary can be acted upon, but only after considering the severity of my hunger, the cat said. The cat took left, and Kamalakanta experienced a rush of happiness at the thought that he had been able to show light to a lost soul. Dear friends, this was the end of a satirical story. Please stay tuned for more such stories. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel.